Okay, here we go. This is going to be a short tutorial on creating your own server for ARK Survival Evolved. Bam, here we go. This game here is a phenomenal game, especially being the early access game that it is as the date of this recording. Now, this is a tutorial on creating a server that you will host on your own machine at home for you and your friends to play on. This gives you total control over all the aspects of the game. You know, dinosaurs, players, levels, the engrams that are in games, so you can learn mats and stuff. This little tool helps set all that up for you. So, you're here on the main page of your Steam account for your library. You have ARK Survival Evolved clicked. Come over here to Forums. Click on your forums. You are going to come down until you find the frequently asked server hosting questions. Bam. Open that up. Now you're going to have a bunch of information here from the community manager, who happens to be a developer as well. You're going to come right here, ARK Server Manager by HellsGuard. Now HellsGuard has teamed up with ChronosWS or WS. Wait, one second. Scroll all the way up to the top. ChronosWS. Sorry, Chrono. Didn't mean to mess it up, bro. But they got together and they created this tool. Really good tool. This is a great read over, by the way, as well. Give it a good once over, maybe even a twice over. I'm still reading it over and over, probably every other day, just to see what is being added and what's being taken away, just what's going on. So you just give them their props. Okay, so we're going to go through here. These are all their little fixes and ads and stuff like that with the new tools that they started. But anyway, the original server tools right here, that's what I started with. Now they've created the server manager tool. Fantastic tool, I'm going to tell you. I can't, praise it enough here. But you're going to click on the download here. It's just going to download it for you. You're going to open it up. See, like here, just bam. It opens up another window. And then, would you like to keep it? Yes, you're going to keep it. There's nothing malicious about it. So you'll keep this application, and then you run it. I'm going to discard it because I already did so. Now, it's going to ask you to, if you want to create a desktop icon. Yes. It's going to be the easiest way. Create the desktop icon. Point it in the direction that you want it to install all your information. So when you install it, like I did, I installed mine on my D drive. This is where I keep all my games. So I installed it on D drive. The original tool was called the ARK Dedicated Server Tool. I left the folder the same, but you can set your location wherever you want it to. And then on the inside of it, hit upgrade. Once you set your location, you got all your installation locations set up, you're going to click upgrade. Once you click upgrade, window pops up. It's going to go through and it's going to look and check to make sure everything is in order. So right now it's going through its validation state. And it's going to keep going through that validation state till it's done. Now for you, starting out new with it, it's going to take a little bit longer because it's going to start installing all the information needed to run your own server. And it's going to take a few minutes for that. So depending on your download speed and stuff like that, just sit back, let it do its thing, let it get everything set up, and you can go from there. Now, when you set it up, And here's my D drive, my ARK dedicated server. You're going to want to add a folder that says profiles. And in that folder, you're going to add in for your profile from the ARK Server Manager. That's going to go right down in here. So when you go to set it all up, it's going to be right here. Now you're going to have to create that folder. It doesn't automatically create it. You have to create a profiles folder and let it go from there. Now, once you got this all set up, or before you set it up, you finish this. Once this is completed, you're going to want to just name the profile, name your server, and then it's going to give you your local IP address. It's going to recommend, and that's the IP address of the machine in which you are putting the server. Now, if that machine happens to be the one you're playing on and everything, it's going to automatically give you that one. That's the one that's going to tell you, hey, this is the one that you're on right now. This is it. Once that's done, you're going to find your public IP address. This, open up your web browser, whichever one you use. I use Google. You're going to type in, what's my IP? Bam. There's your IP address right there. That's your IP address. Okay, you're going to take that number and you're going to plug it in right here. Because this is what your friends are going to use to connect to your server. Don't be mistaken and give them this number. This is for local. This is just for you. This is the IP address for them to use. Now, when they go to searching for this in Steam, you're not going to see it on your Steam list. They'll find it on their Steam server list. We'll talk about that as soon as we're done setting this all up. We're still at 57% here, almost 58%. We're going to let this finish up. We'll go over this a little bit more. You're going to name the server. I named mine CNG Gaming. The server ports and the query ports should already be set in. That's already done. The map is called the island. That's the only map right now that's set up for this. So you can set up message of the day, the duration in which it sets out. If you have any additional arguments you got to put in for your command lines for launching, that's what you would put here. As it sets, we don't have to do any of that right now. This tool will do it all for you. Okay. Autosave every 15 minutes is default. Enable idle timeout. If a player's idling and you want them to time out, you can check that and set it up. You can set up the amount of players that can be on your server. You can go all the way up to 127, all the way down to just you. I have mine set at 70. Go back to 70 because that's default. Now, next tab is the rules. These rules right here are your PvP rules, pretty much. You have hardcore mode. Hardcore means that you die, you lose all your information, your character starts off fresh like you just woke up after you created them. That's hardcore. You lose all your base, you lose everything. PvP, if you want to do something in PvP, right here's PvP. Bam. You can click that. You're in PvP. Enable tribute download. The tribute downloads are downloading characters from off the other servers onto your server. You can do that. That gives you the ability to. Your difficulty rating, you can change this to whatever you want. You can make it as hard as you want or as easy as you want. Now, you've got your chat notifications here. You have global voice chat. You can enable that. You can enable your proximity text chat. Enable the players left and players joined notifications. I have both of those checked in the proximity text chat. The global voice, most everybody's running on TeamSpeak or something like that anyway. We don't even worry about that. Your heads-up display and your visuals. You can allow your crosshairs, your heads-up display, your third-person view, your map player location, meaning that you open up the map and it says you are here. And then in PvP, you can set up your player camera settings, meaning that you can, middle of the night, you can make it as bright as you want so you can see everybody else. Or you can just leave it off and they can't do that. That's up to you. Now here's your other player settings. You can enable your flyer carry, meaning that your pterodactyls and your Argent can come down, pick people up, and carry them off. You can set up all your XP modifiers. These are all modifiers and you can set up for everything. You can lower them, you can make them higher, however you want to do it. This is your server. Now your Dino settings, it's the same as the player settings. You can adjust it to make it as hard or as easy as you want just by taking this and sliding it up or sliding it down. Okay? Now you can customize your dino spawns. All you have to do is click the button and then go down the list of all your dinos and which ones spawn where. You can, or not where, but the amount and how many or any of that stuff, how often, all that is set right here. But I don't do that. Now your environment. You can change all the amounts you harvest, the taming speeds, the resource respawns, the harvesting health, your day cycles, what time, if the day is going to be longer than the night's going to be longer than the days. All that's done right here in your environments. Set up your structures. What kind of resistance do they have? What kind of damage are they going to be able to take? The visibility, how far. Enable the structure decay. Click this means that you build a building, it's going to eventually start decaying unless you keep it repaired. That's what that's all about. Here you have custom level progressions, meaning you can add or take away levels as you're leveling your character. Now these are for your Ingram points. This is for your custom players leveling. This means you can change how many points at what XP people are going to get those Ingram points. You can set up that people are going to level all day long here. And if you put that this guy can level to level 2 at 5 points, here you can put, well, he's not going to get Ingram points until 6 or 7 XP points. So I mean that can be changed. And then you can change this to, he gets 8 here, 8 here, 8 here, which is 8 total, 16 total, 24 total, progressively up. Or you could set this to be, he gets 8 here, 16 here, which means that they're going to take the 8 plus the 16, and that's going to give you your 32. You'll have 32 points there. No, you'll get 24 points here. I'm sorry. You'll get your 24 instead of 24 here, and then so forth and so on. You can adjust these Ingram points to be however you want them to be. Ingram points by your patterns in the game that you can learn to do. And by the way, people cannot join your game if they do not own the game. They have to have the game as well in order to join the game. Okay? So now that you've got your everything, fresh and clean, you're going to save it. Okay, you're going to save current file. Bam. I've already saved it once. We're saving it again. Now, your profile is saved as CNG Gaming. For me, it's CNG Gaming. You name it, whatever you want. And then you're going to go over here and you're going to hit the upgrade button. I already did. It went through, made sure everything was done. It's going to take a little bit longer for you. Once that's done, you're just almost there. You've saved everything. You're getting ready to set up your server. You're getting ready to start. What you're going to want to do is you're going to put in your server password if you want one. Now, the admin password means that all of your cheat commands that are on your server, you have to be password protected in order to even unlock them. So that's what you're going to do is you're going to lock your password or your cheat code so nobody else can cheat on your server. So you'll put in a password, and all you gotta do is just come in here and click and put in your password. Click save and click start. I'm just gonna let's put a password. ASDF 1 2 3 4. ASDFG 1 2 3 4 5. Okay. Now we're going to start our server. Yes. That's okay. Because we're going to allow access. Now this is going to come up. This is your server information right here. There, everything's running good. We're all honky-dory. Says it's initializing. Right now, your Steam status is unavailable. Well, that is because your server is still initializing. Okay? Now, that's going to take a few minutes. While that takes a few minutes, you just go about, setting everything else up. One thing that you're going to want to do, if you have trouble with people connecting to the game, you're going to want to set up port forwarding. And port forwarding is pretty simple. You just go into your router, you set up your port forwards, and you set them up for TCP and UDP of 7777 through 7778, and then do the query ports. You set them both up for TCP and UDP at 27015 to 27016. And you shouldn't have any problems then. Your firewall, you should already have exceptions put in your firewall for those ports. If not, you just go in and just add them in. There's a couple of tutorials out there that'll show you how to do that. That'll probably be another tutorial that I'll do at a later date. But while you're sitting there waiting for it to initialize, there are some commands that you can use for your server. And I go here to ark.gamepedia.com. Survival Evolved Wiki is what this is. Gives you all your little informations for everything here. All the way. Now, we are going to go exactly sure which one it was. Had the I don't have it saved. I know it's on the wiki page, but we'll put in ARK. There it is. Console commands. This is all your commands as a server admin. So all you do is you just come in here and you find which one you want to do. You got one for God mode and infant stats. It tells you what it does, and it is right here, ark.gamepedia.com, server configuration options and console commands. That's what it's called. And you can go in here and look at what the different cheats are. You can summon dinos if you want. You can teleport. You can get infinite ammo. You can unban players. You can ban players. You can fly. But first, to do that, you have to type in enable cheats, space, and then your password that you set. And then it'll allow you to set your password. Or it'll recognize your password, and then you can just start using admin cheat, and then you can add experience. It tells you everything that you need to do here. No check to join, meaning that they're on your whitelist for your servers. Like I said, all the examples and effects for each one of these is right here. But this is something that will help you control your game a little bit better. So yeah, just go check that out. They did a fantastic job with it. Now, like I said, it takes a little bit for the server to get initialized. Check your server. You're going to go to View, Servers. Now, mine's going to be right here. So far, it's not responding yet. Just going to keep refreshing every so often. Now, it's going to come up on LAN. Okay, right now the server's not running. That's because it's still initializing it. Yeah. Like I said, it's still initializing. But when it's done, it'll say, I think connected or something like that here. We'll see it here in a second. But anyway, you got LAN and favorites. I put under the favorites, I added in my server. All you got to do is just click on Add Server, type in the IP address, find the games at this address. That way you'll know exactly the name of the server. Will come up and it'll tell you all that information. See right there, server status running. So if I go over here and I let out, click refresh, there she is, CNG Gaming. But you will not see it on this list. Your friends will find you on this list. But the easiest way for them to get into the server, if they have the game, is to come here, add server. This IP address comes in right here for them. So we'll put in 24.160.93.82 colon, and then you're going to put in the 27015. Find games at this address. So we're not responding because that is what they're going to be doing. Okay? For us, as the server admins, it's local for us, so we're going to put in and find games at this address right here. Bam. See, because it's local, that's what's going to happen. You're not going to find it using your public IP address. It's a local IP you have to use. They have to use your public IP address. Okay? So that's how they will be able to add that to their favorites list and then be able to find it every time. Now, once you set this up, you will not find it in game either under the unofficial servers. Your friends will be able to find it, but you will not. Okay? Don't get scared. Don't, oh my God, It's okay. You know it's there. It's going to be under your LAN. Right there. Bam. Right there. See? There's the little IP address. This is the actual server port. And then this actually has your query port. Okay? You're going to be fine. As long as you give your friends your IP address here with the 27015, then they'll be okay. A friend of mine in California, he set up a server. This is his right here. It's offline because his computer couldn't handle it, but this is it right here. When it's up and running, this will come up as his server. Okay, so there we go. If you have any questions, comments, you can put them down in the link or in the below down there. Down there. Hit the like button if you liked it. Hit the dislike button if you didn't like it. Tell me why you didn't like it. Troll if you want. Doesn't bother me a bit, because trolls are just lonely people. They have nothing better to do. But I'm going to put a link in the description down below to their profiles for their file for the ARK Server Manager. And I do appreciate you guys stopping by. Come by and check me out on my stream. Hit me up on Twitter. Leave me a message here. All right. Thank you very much. Like I've always said, friends don't let friends get phone. Because we don't. Peace.